Hey, welcome to day 255. We're in Zechariah and Ezra, and let's get at it. Short video today for you. So we talk about chariots and horses. We've mentioned them a few times throughout the reading. Not a lot, but a few times, enough to make us say, wait a second, there's something to having horses here. Not for us to have horses necessarily, just that if you want to know if there's animals in heaven, I mean, you haven't been reading if that's the case. So we have these horses and they have a purpose. And then once we get to Revelation, we have the four horsemen of the apocalypse. Well, they're riding horses, right? So and it's usually all the same colors. I don't see any different colors other than these at the moment. So let's talk about them. Zechariah 6, 1 through 3. Let's see here. We are looking at, I saw 4 chariots coming from between 2 bronze mountains. And that's the thing that's not mentioned is the 2 bronze mountains. So that's a different discussion. But the first chariot was pulled by red horses, the second by black, the third by white, and the fourth by dappled gray horses. Well, I mean, those are the same colors used in Revelation. And here's the thing, he wants to know, well, what are these? And the angel replies, these are the 4 spirits of heaven who stand before the Lord of all the earth. Okay? They are going out to do his work. The chariot with the black horses is going north, the chariot with the white horses is going west, and the chariot with dappled gray horses is going south. Notice they don't say anything about the red chariot. And I don't have anything for you at this moment, but I just thought that was odd. We have had the readings of the other ones before, and they actually went and did other things and patrolled the earth. That's what we learned yesterday. And here, these are the 4 spirits that stand before the Lord of all the earth, and they go out to do his work, whatever that may be. Okay, so that's just cool. I'm just pointing that out because that could be a whole nother study. But the horses are really kind of important. They're magnificent creatures. If you want to do a small study, then I would look into horses and the power that they have. And remember, we will be riding horses coming back with Christ at the second coming for Armageddon. I don't know if I can find that real quickly for you. But let me talk about, while I'm looking for this, let me talk about, we'll just do that another time. The kings, not the kings of Israel or Jerusalem, and we have to be careful when we're talking about kings which ones we're talking about. But lately, it's only been Jerusalem because Israel got taken away in 722 BC. Jerusalem finally got taken away in 586. So I'm looking at my timeline, and I've kind of jotted these things down. It is important to kind of keep that track it, so you have an idea of what's going on. So here's why I'm saying this. You have Nebuchadnezzar, King Cyrus. Of course, you had one king for like a few days in between there. Darius and Xerxes, and then Artaxerxes. Okay, so, and why is that important? Because in Daniel, wait a minute, let me back up here. Zechariah 7:5. I just want to say we have another 70 years sighting. So it's not just in one little place, it's a whole bunch of places. 7 verse 5, say to all your people and your priests, during these 70 years of exile, when you fasted and mourned in the summer and early autumn, was it really for me that you were fasting? So even in their exile, God knew that they were just being ridiculous in what they were doing. They weren't really fasting for God. They were just doing it for show. And that means something. Part of why they got exiled for another 2,500 years. Even though he was bringing them back, and he said he would, there was still 360 years left of their punishment, and he multiplied it by 6. That's just something to think about. That goes along with what he's saying. But here's the thing. You have 500 years, and that's not an exact number, but 500 years, and this goes along with the kings here, of when there's really not a lot going on as far as prophecy is concerned. And we have other prophets that we have to read through yet. But you have Xerxes and then Artaxerxes, and Artaxerxes takes on many women for his wives and a queen, and that queen would be Esther. So Esther comes on the scene around 479 BC, and the point is there's about 500 years of turmoil for the people. You have Haman, who's trying to kill off the Jews right off the bat, and that's in Babylon and in Persia, those areas. So I want to reread, we've already read this, I want to reread something to you. In Daniel 9, verse 25. Now listen and understand, 7 sets of 7 plus 62 sets of 7 will pass from the time the command is given to rebuild Jerusalem. Okay, well, they started rebuilding Jerusalem. We've already talked about this. They've completed the temple in 516 BC. Okay, and so you're in King Darius's time when it's completed, and then you get to Xerxes and then Artaxerxes within, 30 to 50 years. And then Haman comes on the scene and tries to kill all the Jews. And listen what it says. Well, all that time will pass to rebuild Jerusalem. So they haven't rebuilt the walls, and it's not really a city. It's just the temple had been rebuilt. We're getting ready to read where Nehemiah comes on the scene and goes back because Artaxerxes and Esther see that Nehemiah is struggling, and he sends them back to rebuild the walls, okay? Until a ruler, the anointed one, comes. Jerusalem will be rebuilt with streets and strong defenses, despite the perilous times. So, Jerusalem's being rebuilt, and Haman comes on the scene and tries to annihilate all the Jews. And then for 500 years, there's nothing but perilous times in Jerusalem. And then you get Rome that finally comes on the scene, and then you get Jesus. So pretty important to follow a timeline of events, okay? And I'm just jotting down notes on a piece of paper. It's not anything formal. So you can kind of keep this stuff straight. So that is day 255. I'll see you tomorrow.